All right, I'm going to start with some food for thought. Okay? To me, and in my lifetime of experience, if you have all the correct facts, but you ridicule people who have all the wrong facts, but are humble, the ones who have the wrong facts, but are humble, are actually the ones who are correct. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay, so I'm against ridiculing. I'm probably anti-ridicule, I'm not anti-much, but I am pro a lot of things, but I'm not anti-much. But I'm probably anti-ridicule. Now, I'm not for ridiculing flat earther people. Flat earther people fascinate me because, I don't know, they kind of came out of nowhere. It's almost like they came out of the mountainside. They just appeared out of the rock face. And now they walk around the earth. And now, I'm saying all this as a person who completely believes and understands the planet Earth as a sphere. And the belief or knowledge of our sphere, of our planet Earth being a sphere, well, it's one of those things that has, from what I have seen, has proven to be true time and time and time again with the way science has been able to interact with space. And, if they were wholly wrong about this, then I dare say we wouldn't have gotten satellites into into space, etc., 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 etc. And there are other things that has helped me in my personal life confirm to myself, and not the least of which is Galileo. I gotta say, Western culture needs to connect again to Galileo. Being connected to Galileo my entire life, and his work and what he went through in his time has been quite a powerful thing for me. But flat earther people do not fascinate me because I need them. Like, a lot of people are very obsessed with them needing to prove what it is they believe and all that. But that's the thing, is that it's a belief system. To me, it's not it's more like a religious belief more than it is a scientific one. And yes, science, Western science, and the different branches of science are belief systems. And religious systems do have proof of what they believe, and sometimes they don't. But that's the world we live in. That's our reality. Our reality is an amalgamation of millions of belief systems that come together that create our reality. And flat earther people fascinate me because they tend to be male, I think. From what I've seen, they're male. Although I might be wrong about that. But from what I've seen, they're male. For the most part, they are Western, although not all. And they're kind of a fairly recent thing. Like, when I was growing up, I don't think that was really a thing. I started to hear more about flat earther people when I was already in my late 20s. Almost going on 30, with multiple children and married many years. And I guess what fascinates me the most, personally, as a theologian, researcher, and scientist, is, and a human being, just a human being, is what intrigues me is the purpose behind their belief. Why do they feel the need to believe something that seems to me has been disproven beyond a shadow of a doubt, pun intended, because the Earth's shadow is one of those things that helped us prove that. And when I hear about what they actually believe, it's very like mythical. It works in a mythos, and I take mythos seriously, very seriously. Mythos have brought us to this point, and they are real. If they weren't real on a more astral or spiritual plane, then they would not have had the power to bring us here and to create our reality. And there also is this illusion that we progress. That's for another whole other video. I've always thought that this idea that we are progressing as a human race, well, a lot of it's kind of a crock, Our progression is also a sphere. It's not a line, okay? We're constantly rotating on a death-life, on a life-death rebirth axis. And so I guess that's what I have to say for now about my fascination with flat earther people. I'm fascinated as to why they need what I perceive wholeheartedly as more like a theology, but they don't really connect it to God. So it's not theo, it's not God, but somehow they have created this reality for themselves that they feel they need. And a part of me feels like a lot of it has to do with just, especially because a lot of them are Western males, they just feel the need to be different than everybody else. They feel the need to cling to something that they can then defend.